Tonight, an axe-wielding husband is being held without bail after state troopers say he admitted to killing his wife.
On Christmas Eve 2014, around 10 p.m., 35-year-old Dustin Lee Klopp and his wife, 34-year-old Stephanie Kilhefner, became involved in an argument at their Paradise Township home in Pennsylvania. Although the exact cause of the argument remained unknown, it escalated into a horrific act of violence. During the altercation, Dustin punched Stephanie in the face, causing her to fall to the floor. He then used a knife to slash her throat and struck her head multiple times with an axe.
Police say Klopp then punched his wife, slit her throat, and then hit her in the head with an axe.
After killing Stephanie, Dustin hid her body in a car carrier bag and put it in a shed on their property. In an attempt to cover up the crime, he tried to clean up the blood and erase any evidence of his actions. The following day, Christmas Day, Dustin faced the grim task of hiding the truth from their children.
Klopp moved his wife's body to a shed on the property, then went to Christmas celebrations with the couple's 2 children.
Shockingly, the following day, after murdering his wife, Dustin took the couple's 2 young children, aged 5 and 2, to celebrate Christmas with his parents.
State troopers say a Christmas Eve crime inside this Paradise Township home went unnoticed for nearly a day until the man they say did it had a change of heart.
Later that same day, at around 5:20 p.m., Dustin called the Pennsylvania State Police to confess to the murder of his wife. During the call, he admitted to the crime and provided the location of Stephanie's body, which he had hidden in the shed at their home on 623 Georgetown Road.
And we've seen 9 cruisers go up, and of course they stopped at my house thinking it was the address. We knew there was something up. She wished us a Merry Christmas, and you just can't believe that something happened like that.
Approximately 30 minutes after police arrived at the scene and confirmed the discovery of Stephanie's body, Dustin turned up at the police station at around 6:30 p.m. and handed himself in.
Lancaster County State Police Headquarters. It's where police say Klopp confessed to killing his wife.
I guess he did develop a conscience. That's why he turned himself in. But, I don't know what was going through his head. It just hits home, and you think of the 2 kids that they had. Christmas time, it's sad.
Lancaster County District Attorney Craig Steadman later confirmed the fortunate detail that the young children had not seen the murder occurring. Police also suspected that Dustin sexually assaulted Stephanie during the attack. However, it remained unclear whether this occurred while she was still alive or post-mortem. District Attorney Craig Steadman addressed the tragic incident, providing limited insight into Dustin's motives and the events leading up to his confession. While he did not reveal the specifics of the argument between Dustin and Stephanie, he strongly emphasized that there was no justification for such a brutal and heinous act. Dustin's actions left investigators and prosecutors struggling to piece together the timeline and understand his unusual decision to wait nearly 24 hours before contacting the police. It was assumed that Dustin may have confided in his parents about the murder, since his father was the one to drive him to the police station. District Attorney Craig Steadman underscored the unusual nature of Dustin's confession. Unlike many homicide cases where suspects claim self-defense during their admissions, Dustin offered no such justification. Instead, he simply admitted to the brutal murder of his wife without attempting to excuse his actions.
"36-year-old Dustin Klopp remains here at Lancaster County Prison, but now prosecutors have added sexual assault charges against him." Dustin, do you have anything to say? How come you killed your wife? Dustin Klopp had nothing to say outside of court or in court today during his preliminary hearing.
Dustin Lee Klopp faced charges of criminal homicide, abuse of a corpse, and evidence tampering in the brutal murder of his wife, Stephanie Kilhefner, and was held without bail at the Lancaster County Jail.
The additional charge was one count of involuntary deviant sexual intercourse, and that was filed based on findings during the autopsy report of the victim.
Dustin's prior criminal record was marked by a series of offences, including drug charges, DUI, resisting arrest, burglary and assault, painting a troubling history of legal troubles before the murder. He pleaded guilty to burglary and simple assault in 1997 and to burglary and resisting arrest in 2001. Dustin also had 2 guilty pleas to DUI in 2007, along with one for resisting arrest. In 2009, he was arrested on drug-related charges, resulting in a 2 to 4 year prison sentence. He was released in 2011, the same year he married Stephanie. Despite his criminal history, people in his life, and even his lawyer, expressed surprise over the murder charges, describing Dustin as level-headed and not someone they would have considered violent. Attorney Corey Miller, who represented Dustin in an unrelated case, said he was surprised when told of the homicide. He said, "There were no prior criminal incidents of domestic violence between them, but that doesn't mean nothing happened."
Well, Klopp still remains here at Lancaster County Prison without bail, and he will be back in court in mid-March. In Lancaster, I'm Meredith Jorgensen, News 8.
On February 27, 2015, while awaiting trial, Dustin was rushed to Lancaster General Hospital after attempting suicide by hanging himself in his jail cell. Despite efforts to save him, Dustin suffered severe brain damage due to a lack of oxygen and was declared brain dead. He was pronounced dead 2 days later.
The Lancaster County Prison is where he ended his own life. The Lancaster County coroner says the 36-year-old hung himself Wednesday with a bedsheet and is now brain dead. The couple's 2 young children have been staying with their maternal grandparents.
Lancaster County coroner Dr. Stephen Diamantoni ruled the death a suicide and confirmed that no autopsy would be performed. Following the murder, a memorial fund was created on GoFundMe to help Stephanie Kilhefner's family with funeral expenses. Her memorial service was held on January 3, 2015, at the Parksburg United Methodist Church in Philadelphia. Stephanie was clearly adored by her family, and her murder left them completely heartbroken. Known for her deep love of caring for horses, Stephanie's most cherished role was as a mother to her 2 children, whom she loved to the moon and back. Now those children are left without parents. The attack and murder raised so many unanswered questions. Why did Dustin snap and commit such an awful crime? Both Stephanie's and Dustin's Facebook accounts are filled with seemingly happy family images taken just days before the gruesome killing. One particular photo, showing Dustin napping with his 2 children and the family dog, was used as Stephanie's profile picture on Facebook, taken less than 2 weeks before her death. Lancaster County District Attorney Craig Stedman said, "It's chilling, just awful. The timing makes it worse. Then you put kids in the mix and it makes it even more difficult. Christmas for them is ruined forever. It's just terrible. They had a domestic argument that escalated into a physical altercation. He admitted he knocked her unconscious, cut her throat with a knife, and then took an axe to her head. This case is so profoundly chilling and heartbreakingly senseless. We may never truly understand the source of the argument or what exactly transpired on that fateful Christmas Eve. It's almost unimaginable that Dustin could commit such a cruel and violent act with his own children in the house and then proceed the next day as if nothing had happened celebrating Christmas. These poor children, now left parentless, are the most tragic victims of this horrific crime. It's impossible to fully comprehend the lasting impact this has had on their lives. Wherever they are today, I hope they've found some measure of healing and a sense of normalcy amidst the aftermath of such unimaginable trauma. At roughly 15 and 12 years old now, one can only hope they are surrounded by love and support to help them move forward. As always, my heart goes out to everyone impacted by the senseless crime, and rest in peace, Stephanie Kilhefner.